Bright QT. Every student matters.
Now we come to our next topic, and this next topic says that in our household electric wiring, when we talk about household electric wiring, there are two type of combinations, as we know, that can be done. One is the series combination and another is the parallel combination that can be done for our household electric wiring, right. Now, what to do out of these two? Whether we take series combination in our homes or we take parallel combination in our homes, in that case we need to see what are the reasons, what are the advantages and disadvantages of series or parallel. Now, let me tell you, whenever we connect our household appliances, we connect it in parallel combination. Why? We will just see in a second, and this is what our next question comes, that what are the advantages of connecting the household electrical devices in parallel. Now, if we see and relate the difference between series and parallel combination, we saw that series combination was like we have connected all the appliances in continuation, right, with the cell or the battery, whereas in parallel combination we have connected the appliances like this. Got it? This is what we have studied till now. Lot many questions we have done regarding this. Now, these are three appliances 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3. If I connect them in series, the difference between them is, when I connect them in series, I know that the potential difference in series is sum of the potential differences of all the individual resistance, whereas in parallel the potential difference across the circuit was equal to V1 or V2 or V3. So, this is one advantage why I connect the domestic household electrical appliances, all devices in parallel, because by doing so the potential differences, they remain the same, because of which the bulbs or the appliances, they get the same voltage. Got it? This is my first reason. Fine. The second thing we can relate is, in series I have seen that the total resistance was equal to the sum of all the resistances. So, it was adding up and the total resistance was increasing by adding more and more resistances, whereas in parallel we saw that the total resistance was calculated by the formula 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3. Therefore, if we take this into calculation, then the total resistance was actually decreasing. In parallel, we have already studied that the resistance decreases, right. Now, I connect all my appliances in parallel because of this second reason, that when I connect those appliances, the total resistance decreases, and when the total resistance decreases, that means the amount of current passing through them is increased, and that is what we require. Fine. So, we require more current and less resistance, that is why we connect them in parallel combinations. Now, the third advantage of parallel combination is that I can have different switches for all appliances. All the devices, they are having different switches, right. I can add as many switches. Fine. If I want this particular appliance to burn up or to light up, I will just switch on this particular switch, I will plug it up and only this bulb or this appliance will work. The rest of the two, they will be just inactive, they will be off, and this is one major advantage. In series, this is not possible. Why? Because if I switch the circuit on, there is one switch, it will allow the current to flow through all the appliances. Therefore, with one switch all the appliances will continue working, which I do not want. Fine, I don't want that if I want to switch on the light or the bulb or the CFL of the kitchen, the moment I switch on, the whole of my household electrical appliances, they just start, right. This is what I don't want. That is why I connect all the appliances in parallel rather than in series. The fourth, yet another advantage of parallel combination is that if by any reason, if any one device stops working or is faulty, the others will continue to work. Why? Because there is a different supply of current to all of them, but this is not the case with series. For example, this was the first resistance, this was the second resistance, this was the third. The current is just traveling in this direction. Assumably, if this particular appliance stops working, there is some fault in it, then in that case the current is stopped here only and the other appliances will also stop working. This we see particularly in our Diwali lights. When we have those Diwali lights, if one bulb gets fused, we find that the whole of that stops working, right. So, these are the four reasons because of which I connect all my electrical devices in my houses in parallel rather than series. So, there are many options in which this particular thing may be asked. One thing is, how are household electrical devices combined and why? They are combined in parallel because of these four advantages. Second, this may be asked as, what are the advantages of connecting the devices in parallel combination as compared to series? Of course, the same. Or the same may be asked in a different word, that what are the disadvantages of series connection? So, I will be writing up the same 4 points as disadvantages, like here the potential difference is different for all, here the resistance is going to add up, decreasing the amount of current, here different switches are not provided, and very importantly, if any one appliance stops working, all the other appliances after that adjoining it, they will also stop working. Got it? So, this is quite important, why domestic circuits are connected in parallel combination. Fine.